It looks like it takes a while to load these arcade games up. Before we jump right into some gameplay, I did want to mention that with each of these emulators or any game you're running, just press start and select and it'll bring you to the main menu. We can resume, restart, save slot. I'm not sure how many they have here, but looks like we definitely have more than 10. Save state, load state. You can also map the controls differently or turn on your analog stick if you want to. So there are a couple settings here, but nothing to do with performance. It doesn't look like they're using much smoothing, if any at all. We still see that pixelation, which is something I love. Some of these consoles come preset with the smoothing on, and you just can't turn it off, and it does look horrible with these older games. I really do want to see those pixels. But it looks like we're getting decent performance here out of Neo Geo. I know that there will be some arcade games that are harder to run than this, but for the most part, I think they've kind of gone through and pick and chose what they were going to put on this SD card, so we should get decent performance out of all of the arcade stuff that's on here. Let's test one more. Here's Marvel Super Heroes, and performance is pretty decent. Now there's no way to go in and change this to 4:3. We're going to be stuck at 16:9 with basically all of these games, so if you don't like stretched out games, I would definitely stay away from something like this, but that's just how it is. I also wanted to go through and test some NES. This is one of my favorite games, and I can tell you right now that this is running a little faster than it would natively on an original console, but it's not as bad as I've seen on cheaper handheld consoles. This is something you could get used to. Moving over to Sega Genesis, otherwise known as Mega Drive in other parts of the world, Gunstar Heroes, absolutely amazing game. And when it comes to Mega Drive and Genesis emulation, it doesn't take much to do it, and this is doing it just fine. Now, one system that these lower-end chips kind of struggle with is Game Boy Advance, believe it or not. They are using a lot of frame skip here to get it to run at full speed, and once you do get up to faster speeds on screen with a game like this, you will notice it lagging out. So it's really not running this at full speed because we do have that frame skip going. And once I get moving really fast, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You can kind of see it skipping over frames, so it's not doing too well with Game Boy Advance. And moving over to the highest end system that this supports, which is PlayStation 1, I'll tell you again, just like with Game Boy Advance, they are using a lot of frame skip here. With these easier to run games like Crash Bandicoot, it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but when we move over to something that's a little harder to run like Tekken 3, you really notice it. And even with the frame skip on, the game is not running at full speed. We've got some crackling going on with that sound, and overall it's just not a great experience.
Round 2.